was ready to roll whenever.
All right. Welcome back to the First of the Worst podcast. I'm Brendan Murphy.
And I'm Steve Arendis.
And we are calling today's episode the very original Arch Madness. Because it is not corporate sponsored, but it does have to do with a corporation that has impacted our lives pretty much as long as I can remember.
I 100% agree with that.
But before we get to the Arch Madness, the March Madness was going this week, and you and I both took a half day on Thursday and a full day on Friday to not work and have our kind of respective ways of observing the holiday. So you and I on Thursday just went basically straight to a bar, and we ate 2 meals there.
Yeah, that's, you're not living well when you have 2 meals at the same bar without leaving.
I did get a salad for the first one, so I will take some credit. It was a salad that was like at least 900 calories that had both barbecue chicken and bacon.
Yeah, I got the wrap version of your salad and a giant pile of tater tots.
I mean, so you're living worse, but I still got 40 pounds on you on my best day. So I need you to eat like that for like the next 20 years, and maybe you'll catch me.
And then the next day I ate probably just as bad as I did that day.
And you do a lot of funny proposition type bets. You had a lot of things going gambling wise for that second day of the tournament.
Yeah, so besides the normal brackets, luckily for me, the bar itself, bartender was walking around with a giant squares board, so I got in on some squares, which are like Super Bowl squares, but for the ending of every game of the tournament, which is 63 games, which is fantastic. So you always have something to root for. We did a lot of strip cards. And then my buddy Paul makes a kind of, we do this every year, he makes a kind of Friday morning pool. So for the first 8 games, right? And we bet against the spread. We pick games against the spread. We lock in some. But then there's weird things on there, like what color tie will Rick Pitino be wearing? It was red or the field. It came through with red this year.
That seems obvious.
In the past, we've had things such as, obviously not available this year, is will John Gross be wearing an orange blazer?
Oh.
That's a tough one.
I would say no, would be my guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, and it was no less. He never really wears it unless they're wearing orange jerseys.
Okay.
And then it's only for like a few big games in that. But at the NCAA tournament's big games. And then we just had some random over-unders and like who would like make the first 3-pointer in the Northern Iowa game, or who did they play?
Wyoming.
So there was a big cheer from our section of like 20 people when a 3-pointer was made like 3 minutes into that game.
And you guys went to Derby, right?
Yeah. Which is a good setup. There's a lot of TVs in there, and there's skylights in that room, in that back room, so it doesn't get super dark.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about watching day games in a bar through the entire day is there is an element of depression that will creep in if you allow the lack of natural light to get to you.
I'm good in the dark. Other people aren't.
Yeah, I'm already such a dark individual that I need the light in my life. Maybe that even means religion. I don't know. I still haven't really found what I'm looking for. To steal a line written by some Irish guy. I went to Indianapolis, as I have the past few years, and there is no natural light where I am. It is in a basement. There is 4 TVs. There is a Sega Genesis. There is a lot of Bud Light, but it's not really like a adult kind of bacchanal beer guzzling situation. It's more of like a throwback to when you were 17.
Yeah.
Type situation. We play Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I love it.
We do a Coach K college basketball tournament on Sega Genesis. This year's champion was Georgia Tech, which was powered by Travis Best in the year of that game, I think 95. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, 3 of my best friends are there, and we have a very good time. It is a tradition that maybe not everyone could get behind, but works for me.
I would be in on it.
Yeah, it's a good time. So I mean, I'm glad to see these guys. Also, glad to be home. Glad to have my own couch, my own setup to watch my bracket go up in flames these final hours of the first weekend of the tournament.
Yeah. Everybody's got to be rooting for Northern Iowa the rest of the way now to come out of that bracket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, with Virginia and Villanova losing, but we are not a sports podcast. We are a variety podcast, and we did a lot of sports last week. So we are going to do something that is food. Have we done? We've done food before, right?
I don't think we have since we've been recording, since this actually became a podcast.
We've not done a food one. Well, that's exciting.
I'm pretty excited about this one, actually.
So this will be our first foray into foodieism, if that's a word.
And all foodies are going to hate us for doing this one.
And that makes me delighted.
So, as Brendan alluded to, we're calling this Arch Madness. So we are going to be looking at the 10 best items on the McDonald's menu. And people hate McDonald's. They say they hate it, but they sell way too much for me to believe all these people who say they hate it really hate it.
You know, if you dislike McDonald's, like actively dislike it,
Move to France.
I probably actively dislike you. If you will acknowledge that it's pretty good and tasty, but it's terrible for you, that I could get on board with. That is kind of what you have to be. That is kind of the camp you have to be in.
Well, it's the correct camp, I think.
Yeah, it's there's only one right answer. This is not a gray area question.
So this is spawned. So my pregnant wife came out on Friday. Came out a little bit to watch college basketball games. And at one point, she's like, "We need to get going." And I'm like, "This is my ride home." She's like, "But we're gonna stop at McDonald's and get food." And I got so excited. And in the drive-thru, I texted Brendan, like, "We're doing McDonald's menu items."
I responded immediately. Perfect. I believe it was just one word. Perfect. Period. I punctuate a lot.
Yeah. So what were your like just eyes and what the things I think were the best? Whole menu, nothing off limits.
Nothing off limits. No holds barred. You know, it's funny. I think that. I went with selections that are limited time as well.
I think that's legal. I think that's legal.
Selections that are limited time, and I went with one that I think is retired, but that might be a little bit flimsy there in terms of the legality. But I'm going to go with it. I mean, it's a strong menu, top to bottom. I did not put any salads on, for instance. They have many salad options, but if I'm going to McDonald's, I mean, why on earth would I get a salad?
Yeah, I don't even know about their salad options. I know they exist. I don't even know what they are.
I mean, I looked at the menu online just so I didn't overlook anything, and they have as many salads as anything. I think that's for a public perception type of, perception. That's not the reality.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get it started. Hold up. Before we get started, Brendan, check your microphone. Is your microphone on the right microphone? We're not cutting out or anything. This is a good time to check it because you just sound a little like on the phone again.
Okay, let me check.
It's probably right. I mean, we're not cutting out, which is good. It's just, I don't know.
Hold on.
Oh my God, you sound amazing.
Damn it. Do we have to do it over? How bad did it sound?
No. I don't. Do you want to do it over? I don't think we should do it over.
No. Okay. So we'll start on the list here. I probably sound a little clearer because our technology is still evolving, but we have fixed something. Thanks to Steve, our engineer, producer, director, co-owner, co-host. This is like a Spike Lee joint, and Steve is Spike Lee. Kind of just does everything. So my number 10, I actually remember the day this came out, and I can't tell you the year, but I do remember because it's my best friend's birthday growing up. It's March 9th, and McDonald's did all these commercials like, cut something big, May 9th, and it was mid-90s. And like, something big's coming, and like a preview like you do for maybe like a movie before you do the actual preview, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It was like a preview for a preview to generate buzz. And so we went there on March 9th in the mid to early 90s, and they had their first ever burger with bacon on it, and it was called the Arch Deluxe.
The Arch Deluxe. I don't think it exists anymore, does it?
It does not exist as far as I can tell on their menu. They have several. They have 5, 6, maybe even 7 items with bacon on them now.
Was there barbecue sauce on that?
There was some sort of tangy, secrety sauce, but
it was very similar to a McJordan.
It might have been the same thing.
With like a different bun or something.
Yeah, it had a little bit of an adult flavor to it. And I got behind the Arch Deluxe for a few years there in the mid-90s. They have evolved or devolved. I don't know how you look at it. The Arch Deluxe is no longer part of the team. But that is my number 10.
Okay, yeah, that does not show up on my list. I'm not about adult flavors when I go to McDonald's.
Well, I was a kid then. Maybe that's why it appealed to me.
All right, okay, so my number 10 is the hot apple pie. I love the hot apple pie. It's like, it used to be like a 2 for $1. I think it's 1 for $1 now. But you have to make sure they're hot when you get them.
Otherwise, it's just a disgusting cold piece of flaky bread, basically.
Yeah. I once had the hot apple pie in London, and they served it a la mode, which I've never seen in America, and it's such an American thing. It's enraging that they don't serve it that way in America.
I can't believe they don't serve it that way in America. I think that should be stricken from the list because clearly they're not maximizing its potential.
That's why it's only number 10.
Okay. Number 10,
right, so my number.
Pardon me. Number 10 is usually something that I think you can go a little anecdotal on to. Maybe it isn't actually the 10th best thing, but it's just there.
No, I love it.
Okay, all right.
I took this list very seriously.
As we do with all of them. These are life and death topics.
All right.
Number 9 for you.
So I'll get to my number 9. My number 9 is something a year ago probably would have been top 5, but things have changed.
Okay.
And it's Chicken McNuggets.
Wow.
Chicken McNuggets, and here's why. And I flipped out last night a little bit, and this has actually changed last night for me. And they don't have hot mustard sauce anymore, which is really Chicken McNuggets were like 50% Chicken McNugget and 50% vessel for me to deliver hot mustard sauce into my mouth. And they don't even have it anymore. It's gone. They're like, we have honey mustard. I'm like, I don't want honey mustard. I want that really salty-ass hot mustard. And I looked online. It's been they've been not serving it for like 6 months now, and I was pretty heartbroken.
And that's the thing is, do you go to McDonald's more often than like every 3 to 6 months?
No,
So you didn't even have like a farewell tour with it?
No, not for dinner foods at least. I go with breakfast a little more sometimes.
Breakfast is like my treat of, I came to work hungover, good job me, you can get a McDonald's breakfast item.
You made it.
I made it. After I forced myself to get drunk.
Yeah, I'm pretty heartbroken about the hot mustard thing. I might have to look up and see if I could buy some, like online, if there's still some somewhere.
What are the expiration dates on those? I'm curious.
They can't expire ever, I don't think.
Like, would you say it's the same with ketchup packets? They're good forever?
I don't know. Well, ketchup has like sugar in it. Mustard is like mustard, though. Like, it's not even like Dijon mustard. Mustard, I feel like, lasts forever. Don't take that advice, people. Don't. If you have like a 10-year-old mustard, I wouldn't go about eating it right now without checking some expiration.
No, we don't need the first of the worst house counselor, Joe Comer, to really be taking a lawsuit right now. So, yeah. Any food ingestion advice is proceed at your own peril.
All right, so what's your number 9?
My number 9 is kind of a dark horse, I would say, but it's my favorite thing in the world, and McDonald's has it on the menu. I have to include it. It's soft chocolate chip cookies.
Really? Soft chocolate chip cookies? I don't think I've ever had a soft chocolate chip cookie.
They give them to you hot, ideally. It's 2 for $1. It's a really solid situation.
The only fast food place I get cookies from is Subway. I don't really ever go to Subway, but their cookies are good.
College ruined Subway for me. I lived next to a Subway my freshman year, and I cannot eat it after that. I've probably had it 100 times over the course of that year. So that was like, I'm retired for life from Subway eating.
I had a lot of Jimmy John's in college.
I'm the reverse of Jared. I ate it so much that I could never eat it again. And by the way, I gained a lot of weight eating it. So I am opposite Jared.
You were probably eating like chicken bacon ranch subs, though.
Of course, because I was 19 and that stuff was delicious.
All right, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is something that is on the dollar menu, but they've rebranded it now as the value menu. And it is the basis for a lot of other menu items. But this is just the plain and simple version. The McChicken.
McChicken. I like the McChicken. It's probably my first thing that didn't make my list.
Okay, it's the last team off the line They're
Yeah.
on the wrong side. McChicken's on the wrong side of the bubble for you.
Yeah, its bubble was burst.
It bubble bursted.
Yeah, it's a solid sandwich. Just like a lot of mayo on it.
Yeah, you're right. They might go overboard. They put like the mayo and the lettuce to act like it's a real sandwich, but we know it's not. We know what it is.
You don't just a little bit of mayo. I don't even need the lettuce.
We know it's a breaded piece of chicken on bread. So that's my number 8.
It's like the burger bun, right? It's like the same thing, right?
It's the same. It's the same burger.
They tried to come out with like a southern chicken sandwich. Do you remember that?
They have something called it's still on the menu, that sandwich you're talking about.
It's supposed to be like
on the website.
Like a Chick-fil-A type thing. But if you want that, just go to Chick-fil-A or even to Wendy's.
Well, I mean, it's not that easy for some of us to go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you're right.
You must concede.
That's very true. All right. So my number 8 is Coke.
Very solid.
McDonald's
solid
Coke. I am a person who was addicted to Coca-Cola, I'm pretty sure. Now, people love McDonald's Coke, say it's the best Coke. I disagree with it being the best Coke, but it's definitely the best fountain Coke. I think ice cold Coke out of a can is better than McDonald's Coke, and Mexican Coke out of the glass bottle is better. But if you're talking fountain Coca-Cola, McDonald's has the best fountain Coca-Cola. And it is not a different recipe than other places. That is an urban legend. It's the same recipe. They're just better at making it.
I'm going to chime in here because I actually have that next on my list is a large Coke. I think that they always have the correct balance in their machines, whereas somewhere like a Quick Trip might not.
Yeah, for sure. They have better machines. They have better
machines.
Cleaner pipes, all that stuff.
Cleaner lines, absolutely. Like Guinness. Coca-Cola and Guinness are very much the same in that regard. And it's tough to get the right pour.
I've read about this before. And by before I mean yesterday. Their water is better than other places. They have and every McDonald's uses like a reverse osmosis water filter. So you're getting clean. It's being made with cleaner water. So you don't even need to buy bottled water in McDonald's. You can just get like a cup of water. It's like good water. It's the same water they use in all their soda and their coffee. And this is I don't know if you've ever worked at like a food service place, but most of when you do that, they get like the bags of like the syrup, right? McDonald's goes through so much Coke syrup. They actually have like a tanker truck deliver it into like stainless steel tanks, so it's never hitting plastic.
Kegs, almost.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. Just like the transport is different, but it's the same recipe actually.
Interesting. So I will also say that the best Coke I've ever had was at the Oak Park Country Club from the bar. Where
nice.
So I was employed there, and we had carte blanche to get as much of the Coca-Cola as we wanted. So I would just go nuts.
That's great.
Yeah.
So then, is it me on to number 7?
You on to number 7.
Breakfast burrito.
Oh.
Yeah,
never had it.
Those little guys, right? They're just like sausage and cheese and eggs and like some kind of, and they give you the little like pico de gallo, which is like not pico de gallo at all. It's like some weird sauce, but they're just cheesy and sausagey and delicious, and they're little, so you can eat like a couple of them in the morning. But I always feel terrible after I eat them, but they're delicious.
You're gonna feel terrible after you eat almost anything on this list.
That's true. So me and my friends back in the day had something we called a Champions Meal, which was, I don't know how it started, but it started with somebody going to pick up McDonald's breakfast when we were all really hungover in the morning. And the Champions Meal was always 2 breakfast burritos, breakfast sandwich of your choice, and orange Powerade. And that was how you got rid of your hangover.
I'm a big believer in the Powerade, Gatorade, hangover cure.
Not orange Powerade, it's blue Powerade. Orange drink is what they have. It's blue Powerade. I don't know if they still have blue Powerade on their menu. Somebody got it for me as a joke once because they thought it was disgusting. I didn't specify what drink I wanted, and it was the best thing ever.
It really does. I mean, it really does meet the cure for the hangover, to me, at least.
Yeah. So what is your number? So did you say your number 7 was Coke?
My number 7 is large Coke. But since we already kind of went on that, I would like to go off topic a tad,
okay,
but in the same family. I went to Wendy's on Friday, which we're not ranking our top 10 fast food places, but if we're ranking chains, Wendy's might be my favorite.
Oh.
I am a Wendy's loyalist without getting to like the Al's beefs and things like that. I ordered my standard 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers because I was living like a 17-year-old. The junior bacon cheeseburger has doubled in price in the last 5 years. It is now $1.99.
No, it's not. I just went like 2 months ago. It was $1, but it's tiny.
It was $1.99 on the extra value meal.
Oh, as a value. If you go to the value menu at the one on Fullerton and like Ashland, it's 99 cents still.
I'm looking this up. Price. Maybe it's changed since you've last been there. Maybe this is more than the last 6 months.
They're much smaller than they used to be. I went there and I got.
Okay, so they are $1.29 at least.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the best you'll get is $1.29, but I'm still seeing if they are more than that.
So I got when last time I went to Wendy's, I got a junior bacon cheeseburger, a spicy chicken sandwich, regular chicken nuggets, spicy chicken nuggets, and a value frosty. It was like $6.
Yeah, I'm the Picasso of the Wendy's 99-cent menu, but now they have changed it and has screwed up my whole life plan here.
Yeah. Yeah, because now the 99-cent nuggets are 4-piece, not 6-piece.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, McDonald's has also gone out of that, and they have a McDouble, which is different.
Oh, yeah, it's different. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, I just want to go on that it is. I believe it's $1.99. I'm seeing it priced between $1.19 and $1.99 according to this article I've read. So maybe that's dependent on the Wendy's, but I did pay $1.99 per a junior bacon cheeseburger, and that was very, very, very upsetting for me.
And they're much smaller than they used to be.
I can kind of tolerate that if you're going to keep it at the same price point.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I didn't mind the price staying, like it being smaller and the price staying around the same. But if they're going up to $1.99, I need back to a full-size junior bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah. All right, so that's very upsetting. And so we had number 7. My number 7, as we highlighted, was large Coke. My number 6 is my first foray into breakfast. It's Egg McMuffin.
Okay, classic.
And there was a time in my life where I was a biscuit guy, sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I am an Egg McMuffin guy now.
Egg McMuffin is the adult breakfast order at McDonald's.
Yeah, I think it's pretty standard. I don't like the hash browns the way I did when I was a kid. Not going to give anything away, but I'm going to say they didn't make my list.
I've never been into the hash browns.
They're not that good. It's just a novelty of them.
It's like a giant greasy tater tot.
Yeah, so the Egg McMuffin, and I think they have pretty solid orange juice too.
It varies. I've gone to places where they just give you like a bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I have some places just like comes out of the tap. It's different. I feel like the orange juice varies so much, and the sizes of them are different depending on where you go to.
Yeah. Well, it usually comes with your value meal, but you still get charged extra, I feel like.
Something like that, yeah.
Because the value meal technically is supposed to come with coffee.
Or soda.
That's right.
You get soda for breakfast.
Hey, we've already highlighted how good that Coke is.
Yeah.
So that's my number 6.
So is it back on me then to 6?
Back to you.
Chocolate milkshake. Here's my opinion on the chocolate milkshake. I love milkshakes from everywhere. McDonald's chocolate milkshake is a solid chocolate milkshake, but a solid chocolate milkshake is still a top menu item. It's not a great chocolate milkshake, but a solid chocolate milkshake anywhere is still a top menu item in my world.
It's consistently, the taste is so consistent.
It's always exactly the same.
Here's the thing, though. Have you noticed that McDonald's shake machine seems to break more than anything else?
I've never had that experience.
I go to McDonald's all the time. Well, I mean, of the times that I went to McDonald's when I was going to McDonald's more frequently than I do now, not that I have to justify how much I go to McDonald's to anyone, but if I did, I would be justifying it there. Of the times I go to McDonald's, the shake machine is broken probably 20% of the time.
Maybe you went to a same McDonald's a lot of times back then that had a crappy shake machine.
You're right. Harlem and Erie in Oak Park. Or River Forest, technically. And they probably did have a crappy shake machine, and it really did piss me off.
Is it the same machine that makes like the soft serve ice cream?
I don't think so. I think that they're like cousins, but they're not one.
Yeah. Okay. Now though they try to get a little fancy with their milkshakes. Back in the day, we just come in the regular soda like thing. Now it comes with like a clear one with like the dome top, and they put whipped cream on it now and a cherry.
And a cherry, yeah.
Which is like a new thing in like the last probably 10 years.
Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay. So then, my number 5 then is it's probably the classic McDonald's menu item, and that's Big Mac. 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
I'm glad you put it on. It should be on one of our lists. It didn't make mine. But a Big Mac is a delightful sandwich. Somewhat hard to eat.
It's a mess. It's the third piece of bread that makes it a mess, I think. I love those. I love the secret sauce, which I think is just like some kind of Thousand Island dressing.
Mixed with mayo, maybe.
Yeah, but that's like Thousand Island dressing has mayo in it.
Okay, maybe that's not even.
It's just like
maybe
a
it's
kind.
just Thousand Island.
It's like their custom Thousand Island dressing, basically. I think
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
delicious.
it's a good sandwich.
The shredded lettuce instead of like the full pieces of lettuce that the other sandwiches get. It's so weird.
They do shredded lettuce on a McChicken
Do you?
with all that mayo. They do, yeah.
But then some of them get like the piece of lettuce. It's weird how they like change between that.
Yeah, the McChicken is just kind of a mess though.
Anything
As
with
the
the
Big Mac.
I think the shredded lettuce sauce combo is maybe what makes them a mess.
Yeah, I mean, also you hit it right. The third piece of bread.
This is
When we
really
were in fourth
unnecessary.
grade, we had
club.
It's a club sandwich, absolutely.
It's
a
technically
club,
a club sandwich.
and anyone can be a member.
Anyone can be a member. If you like sandwiches with 3 pieces of bread, you're in.
You're in the club. Quick anecdote. So we were in fourth grade at home school. We had something called the Invention Convention, where you invented something, and
Wait,
You
time
showed
out.
off.
Time out. Did you say you were homeschooled?
Oliver Wendell Holmes School.
Oh, okay. This is about to take a turn.
I was homeschooled at the school called Holmes.
Okay.
Although you probably were like, explains a lot. At my school, which was called Oliver Wendell Holmes School after a famous Supreme Court justice, I found out years later, there was something called the Invention Convention. And you invented something, and this is totally one of those things where your dad just does your project for you.
We had an invention convention one year. I don't remember what year.
Mine was a hot dog cooker, which was a terrible invention because a microwave already exists.
Did you
So
sell it to Sky Mall?
What my dad did was he took 4 pieces of plywood, put reflective tape on them, put a light bulb in the middle, and just basically nailed them together and put enough room for me to stick a hot dog in a revolving spit thing through and cook the hot dog that way. Now everyone loved it because everyone got hot dogs, but it was a shitty invention because it's just a much worse version of a microwave that's a fire hazard.
I love it.
Like, why would you do something in why would you want a microwave to do something in 30 seconds that the hot dog cooker, which by the way was called the Brendo-Matic, can do in 5 minutes? So that was my invention. Novelty, crowd pleaser, useless. Mason Gold went another direction. He invented a Big Mac, for lack of a better word, Big Mac holder, and it held your sandwich together so you didn't get ahead of it. And it was a really simple thing. It was essentially a clothespin. So you put a clothespin on your Big Mac and you eat it, and it's not sliding all over the place. And so every bite gives you the appropriate amount of bun, meat, bun, meat, bun. And I think that is a genius invention that McDonald's should have bought.
Yeah, or like someone like incorporated it, into their packaging.
Yeah. So that is a good invention, and I hope Mason Gold is still has the patent on it.
So are you on number 5 now?
I am on number. I just switched to the wrong file. I'm looking at all my bad stand-up jokes. Now I'm on number 5. Cinnamon rolls is my number 5.
They have cinnamon rolls?
They have cinnamon rolls. They're hot and they are delicious. There's so much frosting that you need to eat it with a fork.
Oh man, I've never even had cinnamon rolls there.
That's like you're really treating yourself if you go with the cinnamon rolls.
I've had the cinnamon ball roll balls from Taco Bell that are like they're like Cinnabon branded and they have this frosting in the middle and they're amazing.
I have not had Taco Bell breakfast yet. I know that you're very excited. You're as enthusiastic a T-Beller as I know.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite fast food place.
So, I mean, and we won't even. Well, I now that we've opened this can of worms, I think you should talk about the greatest restaurant in America,
Taco Bell?
the specific Taco Bell that rates.
Oh, the Taco Bell on Clybourne and Wrightwood. Yeah, so there's this Taco Bell in Clybourne and Wrightwood that I used to go to because I used to live off Wrightwood, and I would drive over there quick and go through the drive-thru. And everybody there, they're the friendliest people in the world. They ask you about your day. They'll like talk to you if I'm wearing like a Bulls hat or something, a Bulls shirt. They'll ask me about the game last night. They're very friendly, very accommodating. Don't mess up your orders, which is a big deal at Taco Bell. They always mess up your orders at Taco Bell, but not at that one. And all of a sudden, one day I read an article comes out in like some newspaper, and it was about the world's greatest Yelp reviewed restaurant, and it's this Taco Bell. It has like thousands of reviews, and it's 4.5 stars, and it's so well deserving. It's amazing.
It's across the street from a Costco too, so you can really double down on some pretty solid service at both places.
For sure. I was just by it earlier today. I was really sad I didn't go to it. I went to Menards to get some gas from my grill.
Oh well, that's still a happy purchase though.
Yeah, because you know it's getting close to
Grill
season.
season's coming. That's a good purchase.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I totally lost where we were. I did cinnamon rolls. Am I up again?
Yeah, 4.
4. Number 4 is double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger.
My only burger.
Can you even order a double cheeseburger from there?
Still exists. They put a McDouble on, which is only one slice of cheese.
I love it.
You want to go for the cheaper version of the value menu. But if you're a man who likes cheese, go with the double cheeseburger, which comes with 2 slices of cheese.
It does. It costs like $1 more.
Well, if I'm going to the Shangri-La, I am not worrying about cost.
Well, maybe you should step it up to a triple cheeseburger.
I think that that's too much meat. I think that the double is the appropriate amount. The most intense sandwich they have to me is the double QP, the double quarter pounder.
So you just did a little spoiler that was your only burger on your list.
Okay.
I hate the quarter pounder beef patty from McDonald's. I think it's disgusting. I will never eat any sandwiches that have the quarter pounder beef patty. So like the old Big and Tasty used to have it, quarter pounder. It's not good. I like the weird, flimsy, little tiny beef patty.
Yeah, I guess I'm with you because that is the only sandwich I put on there. The only burger I put on there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just something doesn't taste. It's like something doesn't taste right about that big piece of meat. It tastes like Burger King, and Burger King is the lowest level of fast food in the world.
It's dog food, and dogs are even assaulted.
I don't even understand how any Burger King still exist.
They have good creative in their advertising. Little Mad Men lingo there.
Their most recent sandwich they've been advertising is a ham sandwich.
I did read that Wendy's overtook them, which I was very pleased about.
Oh, Wendy's is so much better than.
Wendy's is way better.
All right, so that is me for number 4.
It's you for number 4, number Tris.
All right, number 4, classic cheeseburger. My wife's probably my wife's favorite menu item. If we go, she got which isn't even on the menu, but they'll still give it to you anymore. The old 2 cheeseburger meal.
They will.
Yeah, they'll still honor the 2 cheeseburger meal if you ask for it.
Good. You need to reward customer loyalty.
Yeah. But yeah, the classic cheeseburger. I mean, that's the thing that I had in my Happy Meals when I was a little kid. I still love it.
Not much different from the double. I mean, I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah. My number 3, which is you've already brought up, is the Egg McMuffin. It's the adult breakfast sandwich. And it's the thing that's always on those eat this, not that things on the internet where they're like, this is, if you're going to eat McDonald's breakfast, this is what you should order. It's like the healthiest thing on the menu.
It's like 400 calories.
I don't even think it's that much.
Which is not ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's just like there's an egg on it, that's fine. And there's like, instead of like a big sausage patty or something, it's just like the Canadian bacon, which isn't that bad.
Yeah. I mean, the Egg McMuffin is somewhat acceptable. You want to call it the adult breakfast. It's kind of the adult meal because there's nothing really that has a good corollary to that on the dinner side in terms of any sort of health value.
You're right. It's the most adult meal you could get there is an Egg McMuffin and a coffee.
It is 300 calories.
Yeah, see, it's not that much.
It is giving you 87% of your daily cholesterol intake.
Don't worry about that. Just don't worry about that. All right. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is fries.
All right. This is where I'm going to step in here. Did not make my list.
Whoa!
I
I
think they're
at a loss.
terrible. I think they're terrible fries.
It's their signature product.
No, it's not.
You don't think-
Cheeseburgers are.
Fries are signature product. The arch is on the fries. The big red container consistently tastes good to me. The best fries of any of the chains.
No, that's so wrong. They're the worst.
Who has the best
Burger
chain
King.
fries in your opinion?
Well,
Wendy's are a ripoff of McDonald's, but they're worse.
but they're better. They're better. Wendy's are better. Wendy's are better. Burger King's worse because Burger King's the worst at everything.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't even count. I can't even believe we've given as much lip service to Burger King as we have in this.
No, I'll just take shots at Burger King whenever I have the chance.
Honestly, if you edit this, maybe we should take the Burger King stuff out.
No, I hate their fries.
It's like talking about your favorite Beatle and then adding Eddie Murphy's music career to the conversation.
So here's the problem. I think I'm just enough older than you to remember when their fries were good, and you don't. When they used to fry their fries in animal fat, and they were amazing.
They are good.
No. The smell of them just gives me a headache. If somebody walks onto a train car with McDonald's fries, I just instantly want to murder them.
For their fries, to eat them.
No, I want to murder them and throw their fries off the train. They're disgusting.
No, they're delicious.
I know I'm not.
They are the right amount of crispiness. They are the right amount of saltiness. They are the right amount of potato goodness. McDonald's fries, on my list, number 3.
I can't agree with that, but that's fine.
Oh, good. We need some spirited debate here. There's been too much of a love-in anyway with these lists the last few weeks.
That's true. Best fries, Culver's.
Culver's doesn't even count. It's a totally different class of fast food. They
so
bring
good.
you your food at your table.
Well, I've been to a Taco Bell that does that too. So.
Well, the greatest restaurant in America.
That's true.
I mean, you can't talk about outliers here.
All right. So then I guess we're on to my number 2. This is a sandwich that's been mentioned a couple times here, and it's the McDouble. I don't need that second slice of cheese. When I go to McDonald's, my go-to is 2 McDoubles. It used to be 2 McDoubles, 6-piece nugget, Coke. But now I'm going to have to figure out something to do to replace that 6-piece nugget.
What they've done is they made the 20-piece $5. So they really just want to go for that heart blockage right away.
Do you remember when they had the 50-piece?
That's a pretty recent vintage, is it not?
I think they brought it back. I remember when I was in high school, they had it once, and me and a buddy got a 50-piece and just ate it in a car, and we just felt so sick.
I feel sick thinking about it, although I also feel kind of hungry thinking about it.
It came in a bucket, which was awesome, though.
I do not remember that container.
The McDouble. If I lived in the suburbs, I'd eat a lot more McDoubles because it's it's the perfect amount of calories. By perfect, I mean a lot. Where if you're hungry and it's easy to eat while you're driving, it's good.
I would say that the McDonald's menu is pretty driver friendly, unless
Yeah.
you're gonna sneak a McRib in there or something.
Yeah, which I did not have on my list, but maybe you do.
I did not have on the list. I wanted to put it out for the novelty because they somehow have made ribs without bones. But
I've never had a McRib.
I used to eat it when I was a kid.
I've never had. I love ribs. I don't know. I've just never had a McRib. It's not why I go to McDonald's.
Natural.
Yeah, it's not why I go to McDonald's. There's always old specialty items. The best specialty item I ever had was in Wisconsin at one point. I used to live very close to the border. They had Green Bay Packers themed meals, and it was like the Amon Green meal and the Donald Driver meal, and like the Amon Green meal was just chicken selects. Like that's what it was. It was like chicken selects. So it was nothing fancy. The Donald Driver meal though came with like cheese sauce.
What?
And grilled onions on a cheeseburger. It was amazing.
So he really invested in it. Like he wanted it to be something unique, whereas Amon Green was just like, I'll cash the check.
I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but it was really good.
I like the narrative that he was like in the test kitchen, being like, if I'm gonna put my name on something at McDonald's, it's gonna be right.
Do you remember the beef Wellington?
No, but I wish I had a T-shirt for it.
There was like a beef Wellington, which was kind of just like a McJordan.
It's
later on.
not the former Bill Wennington. Bill Wennington might not have the same name
No,
recognition.
it was in Chicago. It was not a beef Wellington, a beef Wennington.
Oh no, I'm saying that's why it was I was just
Oh, yeah.
clarifying that.
Yeah, I mean, so you only know him if you lived in Chicago or were a big NBA fan in like the late '90s.
Yeah. So I wanted to maybe just clue in a few people who were in those very specific subcategories.
And so I guess it's me for number one. The number one thing at McDonald's, it's maybe my favorite thing you can get any fast food place in the world. I don't know why. It's the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I love biscuits.
The non-adult breakfast.
Yeah, I love biscuits. I love bacon. Though their bacon isn't like top shelf bacon, but like something about that weird bacon I love on this sandwich, and there's so much melted American cheese on it. It's like falling off the sides, and it's so good. I could eat 1,000,000 of these and just die if if I was at death row, I might just be like, can I have 15 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits from McDonald's? And just do it and hope I die before the chair comes.
Top 10 death row meals is almost a list for another day. I really do like that idea. I grew out of it. I loved it at first. McDonald's breakfast was really, really special for me growing up. And then I got my driver's license, and I could have it whenever I wanted. So some of the things that I thought I loved, we already talked to the hash browns, I didn't love as much once I had them in abnormally large sample size. And the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit would fall into that category.
So
you say sausage.
I bacon, egg, and cheese is what I do.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Okay.
I never had the experience with having too much because most of the years that I was a driver, let's say, so like before I moved to Chicago, I wasn't waking up early enough to get McDonald's breakfast.
I would usually ditch a period in school and go to McDonald's for breakfast. Like on the regular, like maybe once a week. I was a very fat teenager. As opposed to the medium fat adult that I am now.
Also, so like McDonald's breakfast is 10:30 in the morning is when it serves to. Sometimes I know for a fact the McDonald's in Chicago, kind of off Fullerton by like the Sports Authority, serves breakfast to 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
The 11 a.m. It's up to your discretion.
Okay, so some places are 10:30, some are 11.
Some places are 10:30, some places are 11.
That one definitely serves to 11 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
I think it's good business because no one's getting a double cheeseburger at 10:31.
Well, to be fair, the biggest mystery of all time is how they have it, and everybody knows this, is why doesn't McDonald's serve breakfast all day long?
I feel like it's been discussed.
There has. I remember reading things like 8 years ago that like they were going to do it, and it just didn't happen.
I mean, maybe you're just spreading yourself too thin. We are big believers in the excellence. The big thing about McDonald's is that it is quality and consistently quality. You don't want to mess with that.
So before we get to your number one,
we actually have my number two and my number one. We got a little staggered.
Oh, we got a little staggered there? Okay. Before we do that, I want to talk about something. I don't know if have you ever heard of the McGangbang?
I have not, nor have I seen the film.
It's a rumored off-menu item at college campuses, and I know people who have successfully ordered them at college campuses. And it was during the heyday of the 99-cent value menu. And a McGangbang is a McChicken sandwich in between the two patties of a McDouble.
All right, so there's 4 pieces of bread.
Yeah.
This isn't even a club.
No, it's something
this is a
else.
society.
My brother has definitely ordered one at like Northern Illinois.
I think,
and I knew about that before.
I think you got to find a fun staff to make that happen.
It's got to be like late night, like some college kid working, right? Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
I love off-menu orders. It's one of my favorite things. That's why
there's some secret stuff at Chipotle. I don't know. Maybe it's all on the menu now. I never was an off-menu.
Well, like you get a quesadilla at Chipotle. It's not on the menu.
Oh, I have had one, and it's actually just, somewhat.
Rumor states they'll do like a quesarito, like Taco Bell does, but they'll put use the quesadilla as the wrapping of your burrito.
Ooh, that is a heart attack. But I mean, I'm intrigued.
It's one of my favorite things about In-N-Out Burger is that basically the whole menu is not really on the menu.
Yeah, I've only had In-N-Out once. There's something called expectancy gap theory, which is that if someone tells you how great something is your whole life and then you experience it, it's almost impossible for it to be that great.
Yeah.
That was kind of In-N-Out for me.
What did you order?
I got the standard sandwich with the animal.
Double animal style.
Yeah. To work, as you can imagine. It was like a productive meal if you want to go immediately take a nap. Okay, so my number 2 is I mean, you talked about it, but I'm going to specifically highlight the McCafe chocolate shake, the newer vintage of the chocolate shake.
So it's the same thing I said, but it's the new version, not the old version. Yeah.
It has a little bit more. It has a little bit of a different ice cream to it, I think, too.
Yeah, it's a little better.
It is a little better. But I mean, you and I both agree chocolate shakes are great. This is not. I mean, like you mentioned Culver's. Obviously, that's like a way better chocolate shake than this.
Frosties are good too. Even though I don't even know.
Frosties are good. I don't know if they aren't they just ice cream?
They're kind of just soft serve ice cream in a cup.
You need it to melt to be able to drink it.
Yeah.
And number 1, I went with, and you had them very high, and I was surprised. I think that this is probably their greatest hit. If you did a census of America and asked them what the best thing at McDonald's is, I think this would probably be the winner. So I don't think I'm going out on a limb. But chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my whole life it's been hot mustard, and I don't really use barbecue sauces dipping with any nuggets. So
they're so good that I don't even need dipping sauce. But if I do, I can go with ketchup. That's how much I love a chicken McNugget.
That's a child move to dip a chicken nugget in ketchup.
I do it all the time. I've had a girl recently tell me that the difference between her and I was that she's an adult and I'm a child, and maybe it was because of the chicken nugget thing. Or maybe it was because of 24 other reasons that I'm not an adult. But that conversation happened, and I still will dip my chicken nuggets in ketchup.
Ketchup is just like the child's, like, it's what children put on stuff, not everything. The more ketchup you use, the more of a child you are.
I have friends from college that go through gallons of ketchup weekly. Slight exaggeration, but
how is it even possible?
Eat a lot of ketchup. I have a friend who put a ketchup on like a ham sandwich.
Oh, that's so gross. I don't like ketchup really. I only eat ketchup with French fries. That's it. Or if it comes on like a cheeseburger, but
I guess the furthest out I'll go is I guess chicken nuggets. Although recently I did have steak and there was no steak sauce and I did eat ketchup.
Oh,
that's a classless move. If we had kept any of the foodies,
where? Oh my God! Wait, where was the steak from?
It was at my parents' house.
Oh man!
Not at Gibson's. Not like a steak.
That's just insulting. Steak sauce is also just insulting too, though.
Less so.
No, less so, but it's you're basically telling somebody your steak's not good. I'm gonna dip it in sauce.
Maybe I'm just saying it could be better with the addition of this very, very terrible sugar product.
Oh man.
So I got McNuggets number 1. Next week's list. Top 10 steak faux pas will be coming at you soon.
Filet butterfly well done, number 1. with ketchup.
Oh yeah.
All right, I think that was pretty good. Hey, so if you guys want to get a hold of us ever, you can email us at firstoftheworst@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at firstoftheworst. Facebook, like us at First of the Worst, all that good stuff. Oh, and subscribe to us on iTunes. 100% do that.
Yes, subscribe to us. Please keep subscribing. Tell your friends. Also, I have a couple comedy sets coming up this weekend. Thursday night at Underground Lounge, sometime between 8 and 9. It's an open mic, so it's not like I'm really scheduled, but I will be there. If you come, I'll probably buy you a drink.
Oh, look at that, guys. Free drinks.
Free drinks.
At the end of this podcast and showing up to something.
But hope to see you there or at one of my many other forums for failure in the coming weeks.
All right, guys. Well, have a good week. Hope your brackets aren't busted. And we'll talk to you later.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Bye.